You know, the only way to make money is buy a car that wants nothing doing to it and do it yourself.
That's what we'll do then. And also take advice about what to buy.
Right, I'm going to show you something here. Look, you want to keep an eye on this car.
It's a 1992 1-litre Fiat Panda.
Most people will dismiss the little Panda. It looks as flat as a pancake, doesn't it? And boring. But I'm not doing much. But look at this, look. That'll machine up lovely, that. Beautiful. Budget runarounds, aren't they, really? You know, that was the market that they were headed for, wasn't it? And I think they did exactly that. Superb. All it wants is a few little touch-ups, a little cracker, innit?
Fiat's original brief for this car was simply a container, and that's exactly what designer Giugiaro gave them. The box on wheels had flat panels and glass, simple hammock seats, and very little power. But the engineering was solid and reliable. It did 45 miles to the gallon, and you could ram in 1,000 litres of spaghetti. When it launched in 1980, Fiat sold 70,000 on the first day and kept on producing it for 23 years. With 57k on the clock, this one's a good bet for us.
The Fiat Panda 1000 CLX, cheap and cheerful little Fiat. Whereabouts then? 1,000, we're off. 1,000, 11, 1,200, 12, 13, 1,300, 14, 1,400 pound, 1,400 pound the way and gone, 1,500, 15, 1,500 pound on my left, 1,500 pound. 1,500.
So it's good value.
Sell it provisional 15, here's the 16, 16.
Oh, we've just been outbid.
16, Andy, you're out, 16, 17. Andy's buying it, 17. Bangers in cash team, 1,700. Andy, 1,700, well done.
An Italian thoroughbred.
And our very first do-it-yourself restoration vehicle.
What can possibly go wrong?
You can't lose a lot out of that, can you?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Unfortunately, we assigned our cameraman John and our producer, Morland, at best enthusiastic amateur car fixers. Its MOT is about to run out, so we take it to our expert mechanic friend, Roger.
The MOT is the minimum standard a car has to meet to be on the road. We don't go around doing anything to make it pass. As you present the car to us, that's how we would test it.
So he says we have to present the car to the MOT in a presentable manner.
It is presentable. It's got an R-bar sticker on it.
There might be a lot of wadding coming out of the exhaust.
I did notice that. I have to say, when I was driving it, I saw it flapping around and it was like I'd run over Rod Stewart. I don't know what... Oh, it's his exhaust muffler, isn't it?
Abarth is the high-performance division of Fiat. The sticker couldn't be more misleading.
Now then, Roger.
Now then.
How are you doing?
Not so bad.
Lovely sunny day, isn't it?
It is.
You look really good, Roger. Would you like a coffee, Roger? Would you like a bit of cake?
Flattery's going to get you nowhere with this. I cannot be bribed. It's done to the letter. It hasn't passed. Windscreen washers provide insufficient washer fluid. Position lamp not working, offside front. Exhaust cab monoxide exceeds its limit. But your engine's not running on all its cylinders all the time.
Both of them?
All 4 of them. Could be spark plugs.
Could it be anything to do with the chest wick that's coming out the exhaust?
If it's been blocked, it can put back pressure on the engine.
So it needs a new exhaust on.
It really could do with a new exhaust on.
What are your confidence levels in the crack team?
Well, I think you can fit a bulb between you.
At a lockup near our office, the Fiat Panda just needs some simple fixes to get it through an MOT before resale. In theory, the work is so basic that camera operator John and producer Morland will be doing it themselves.
You might need those.
Well, thank you. This takes me back to lambing on the farm.
I'm sort of struggling.
There you go.
Can you give me a hand?
Relax. You're very tense, John.
Right. What's happening down here then?
Oil filter, spark plugs.
And the leads.
He didn't say leads, did he?
If you're changing the spark plugs, you change the leads.
We can't change the leads.
Why can't we change the
We
leads?
haven't got any leads.
In petrol engines, the leads carry electricity to spark plugs, which then ignite the fuel.
There we are. So that, I believe, is what they call an engine.
Where are the spark
Well,
plugs?
that is something I was thinking. Has it got any? There must be... Oh, there they are.
You got them?
Got them. I've got to remove this, haven't I?
Where's that come from?
Italy. I don't know, but we've never needed it. Oh, that's not taken me that much closer to the spark plugs. Have I now got to take all that gubbins off? What is that, anyway?
Well, it's all fuel injection, isn't it? You know when they said do it yourself because it's easier to do?
No, I think they said
be
cheaper.
If you...
No, they definitely said cheaper.
I haven't got a fortnight to spare to get one spark plug out. I can't get the tool in.
OK, let's have a go. Right, come on. Oh, I hope I don't crack it or something. Is that coming out?
That's impossibly tight. I mean, it shouldn't be that tight.
Oh.
There isn't a spark plug in there. There's half a spark plug.
We've made it worse, and now it won't go, now it won't go at all.
Oh, you're kidding.
It won't go at all now.
Where's the rest of it?
It's in the engine, John.
And we just didn't have the right tools to get it out.
I think it's got to go back to Roger.
Ready?
Yeah. Push.
I think he's going to be very, very cross.
How did you manage to break a spark plug?
It just came off, Roger.
It just came off.
Ask Morland.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like someone's, like, tried bending it. I guess this is a firm case of little knowledge is dangerous. So what do you want me to do? Remove the plug and then give it back to you to finish the rest of the lovely job off?
No.
We don't want anything to do with it ever again.
You just lost all your confidence, which was probably a safe move. In restoring a car at home, it's not easy. You've got to have a lot of equipment.
Roger impresses us with his socket extension bar.
But yeah, it's a bit tricky to get in there, that one. Got someone's point injection unit in the way.
It's exactly what I said.
He also has a magnet on a stick.
So, that's what's left.
Has it come out all in one go?
All in one go.
Thank you, Roger.
Right.
Can we leave the rest of the car with you?
Yeah, I suppose you can.
In North Yorkshire, Roger has started the basic work we failed to sort on our Fiat Panda. He's using his own bendy socket to put the new spark plugs in.
And very carefully, because if the socket moves, you're likely to break the top of the plug off like you've already done.
We've got some new leads.
I've noticed them.
Yes. So, we do this one at a time, Roger.
Yeah.
So we know which lead goes which plug.
Yeah. If it's out of sync, if your spark's in the wrong place, it's not going to run because it's trying to fire a charge in the cylinder when a valve's open. That could be the reason for the misfire, because it's all corroded up around your terminal on your distributor cap. Shall we give it a go and see if it starts? See what it does. Like a little sewing machine. That's better. It's not missing.
But we still need an exhaust pipe.
Yeah, really.
Roger,
Yeah.
can you fit us an exhaust pipe?
What's happened is the condensation collects inside the back box, rotted out inside, so all this wadding has just collapsed into a big ball. It's like shoving a potato up your headmaster's exhaust pipe. Coil springs are pretty damn rusty on here, so we're going to put 2 new coil springs on there.
Perhaps best we didn't try this at home.
We've got a couple of seams in the rear wheel arches that are corroding. Clean all the rust off, put some rust killer on. It etches into the corrosion and it stabilises it. A couple of brake pipes that have got a little bit of corrosion on them. We can clean them off and paint them up again. We've got some tyres to fit. And then offside front position lamp bulb.
It all looks so simple when Roger does it.
Brain surgery looks quite simple when you're watching a surgeon do it. But you have a go at it yourself.
Roger's final procedure is to sort the windscreen washer.
Right, I'll pressurise the water bottle.
Absolutely brilliant.
Camera's got a bit wet there, John.
Certainly on.
Hey! What's that?
There's the top of the screen wash bottle.
Right.
Normally they've got a little tiny hole in there so it can let air in when you're letting water out.
The blockage is blown out of the hole, disarming the unlikely weapon. Now, just one final hurdle before this thing can earn its MOT.
You can refuse to test a vehicle if the vehicle's too dirty.
Cue further evidence of why we'd never make brain surgeons.
Oh, hang on. If I turn it on.
Yeah, it might help, might it?
Soap on?
Start at the rear window there. I could just film you all day doing this, couldn't I?
No, I think we need to swap over, John. My back's killing me.
You've only done the window.
It's quite therapeutic, this. It's a great, fun little car. Reminds you of being on holiday in Mallorca in 1992. And they were good memories, weren't they?
I don't know, I wasn't on holiday with you in 1982.
I think it's going to come up a treat.
A quick rinse, then it's time to see how much damage we can do with a machine polisher.
I think that might be enough,
I
Morland.
think it might be enough. How difficult can it be? There we go.
Can I just point out, I'm actually getting covered in polish.
Okay, here we go. Something's happening, John. It's happening.
We're flattening scratches to produce a smooth surface. People who know what they're doing use very abrasive compounds, but ours is more like mascarpone.
Oh, I was doing wonders from the hangover, that. Right, should we give it a polish now and see what's happened? I think I need another go. It's not quite...
Yeah, we haven't done that bit yet.
I have done that bit.
Well, you've missed
Bloody
most.
pointing the camera.
That bit there is good. Yeah, we need to do all of the roof.
The amateur buffing went on for many hours, and there was also a bit of hoovering. The end result, though, undeniably, slightly better.
Pleased with your efforts?
I think I am.
And finally, our DIY RIP Fiat Panda is also ready for the auction. Our expenses weren't quite as we planned. It cost us £1,945 to buy. Parts were £470. Garage hire was £125. And due to our lack of skill, Roger's labour was £600, bringing the total to a totally humiliating £3,140. Hopefully, Derek won't twig that we didn't do the difficult bits.
Derek, what you're witnessing here is an absolute design icon.
I thought we were doing this Fiat.
Mechanically now, the car is up and running. New springs on, new exhaust pipe.
Got your own rear spring compressors, or did you take the legs off and give them to somebody else?
I could, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you might have done. Yeah.
Roger, who ended up doing the work for us, with us, said you stopped at a point where you knew where to stop. We did run into a bit of issues.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have done it if you know what you're doing, would you? No, you've done a nice job. You know, not fully completed, of course, but you've done a reasonable job on it. I'd like to say you've cleaned 500 quid onto it, but I'm not sure you have.
We reckon we've cleaned 250 quid on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd go for that, yeah. For a pair of amateurs, you ain't done bad.
Our first excellent review, but we're not expecting the Panda to make us any money.
So bangers and cash, Fiat Panda 1 litre CLXIE.
All our own work, John.
All our own
work.
I've got an absentee bid here of £100. Fortunately, I've also got £2,000. So there you go. So £2,000 we've got. £2,000 we've got. 2-1, they are, Jack's there, 2001.
Look at it. It's a bidding frenzy, John.
David, 2-3, says Michael at 2003. 2 4s with Jack, 2 5s with Dave, 2 6s with Jack, 2 7 with Dave, 2 8 with Jack, 2 9, 2 9 3, 3 1, 3 2, 3 2.
That's proper, real bona fide profit.
3 5. 3 6 with Jack, 3 7, at £3,700 for the first, second, third and last time. 3,700.
John, well done.
After we paid the sale commission, we were left with a whopping profit of £134.60. Surely one of our most successful restorations. And the joy continues with our new owner. Tracy and his partner Karen from Worcestershire visited the Pickering showrooms for his 60th birthday, with a view to buying his all-time favourite classic.
In the 80s and 90s I had a Capri, and ever since I always thought it'd be nice to, you know, go back to those days and maybe get another one.
Karen, though, had other ideas.
The only bonnet you'll find me under is potentially at Easter, but I saw this nice little Fiat Panda, so I beckoned him over, and it no longer became a focus on the Capri, but actually on the Panda.
Yeah.
I just smile all the time whilst I'm driving her. She's just very basic, but full of character, and in this overcomplicated world we live in, I just think things being pared back to basics is a really lovely thing. When it's my special birthday,
yeah,
we'll sort the Capri for then.
Another visit to the auction rooms.